What's up, guys? We are back with another Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts review, and we are wrapping up the event-exclusive Dragon Ball Z releases for 2023 that are debuting at San Diego Comic-Con with the Majin Vegeta release. And for those of you that are going to be at San Diego, I'll have some info down below in the description on how to get a hold of this set and the others, of course. But this is a reissue of a figure that came out like 5-ish years ago, I believe, and it is our Majin Vegeta figure with some changes, and he has that big pack-in aura effect that we see from time to change up the release. Now, he of course comes in our event-exclusive style box, which I'm always a fan of. So you got that black and blue color scheme for Vegeta with some really solid artwork of him on the front, figure in the window. You've got product shot on one spine showcasing that aura effect. You've got more artwork on the other spine, and then the back of the box gives us product shots showcasing some of the accessories he comes with, that aura effect again, as well as how he moves. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here we go. Out of the package, our SH Figuarts event exclusive Majin Vegeta. This guy's one that I wasn't really expecting to see included, but I know that this is a favorite version of Vegeta for a lot of folks, so it's kind of cool for them to get him back out there. In typical event-exclusive fashion, he is a repaint of an existing, and in this case, pretty old figure with the additional aura energy effect. And then, of course, he does have some changes himself. But this guy's pretty old. He came out right around 5 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that. He came out in 2018, so he has been out of production for some time. So let's see what he can do, see how he moves around, all that good stuff. This may be unfamiliar articulation if you are relatively recent to the DBZ Figuarts game. It's not the current standard in some ways. So we've got our head that can look up a little bit. He can look down good. You got tilt side to side, which is really good for him. You got your rotation. Arms out at the shoulders. They only go out about that far, though. You can swivel. We've got a butterfly joint. Bicep swivel. You've got double jointed elbows that go about that far. We do have our ball hinge wrists, so you've got hinge in and out in any direction. Just orient that ball. And then rotation. He has a diaphragm cut that has really nice range, forward, backward, really nice tilt side to side. It's also a small swivel point. It's not all the way around, but it is another stage to swivel. And then you've got a full-on twist down at the waist and a little bit more shimmy forward and backward as well. So you can get him to crunch forward a decent bit, but then you also have got really nice side tilt. Legs go out about yay far. They kick forward all the way. They kick backwards all the way. You've got your thigh twist up there. We've got double jointed knees. And then down at these ankles, these are the old style ankles. So you've got rotation and you've got a little bit of hinge forward and backward. And then you've got slight rocker. The rocker was always kind of the sticking point here. And then you've also got some toe articulation. So he moves okay. He's not current standard. You know, he's not up there with like the new Trunks or the Super Saiyan 4 figures, but you're still going to be able to get some decent poses out of him no matter what. Now, as far as the overall look and feel, I really like this Vegeta. I like this look. I like this suit. I like this era of Vegeta and, you know, everything that corresponds to him being quote-unquote Majin Vegeta. And I think this figure still holds up pretty well. It is out of date. He is, you know, a little on the scrawny side, too. He's just because of that waist piece, mostly. He does cinch in pretty tight. But I do still think this figure holds up. That's not to say I wouldn't like to see an updated version, but I really like this one still. There are some changes between the original release and this one. So, for the bulk of this, we're just going to have them both out. So this one is our new on the right and our original on the left. And I think, for the most part, you know, if you're into double dipping, this might not be a bad one to go for. There are some big differences here between the two. The key aspects are going to be the actual outfit being much darker. It's not, you know, super, super dark, but it's a different shade of blue. It's more navy blue. There is a little bit of shading around the thighs. Not much, but there's a little bit. I've always really liked all the veins that are popping out of his arms and then on some of the faces and things like that. That's a very much quintessential look for him at this stage in the game. But the bigger changes are going to come down to the face paint, the expressions, and the hair. The face paint and the expressions are still kind of mimicking the same thing that we got before, but they're a little bit more refined. There is more paint on the face in general. Like the face has a lot of paint on it instead of just being cast plastic. And then of course, the actual details on the face do lend to being a little bit more expressive. So we've got more of the actual like line work. It's more it's more well defined when it comes to that line work around the eyes, the little striations around the eyebrows, and underneath the eyes themselves. The M on his head is also a little bit cleaner, and it looks a little bit more robust. It's a thinner font, if that makes any sense, but I think it works a little bit nicer here. And then the hair is, of course, always a thing that gets changed up when it comes to these event exclusives. So you've got a very matte finish on the original with some orangey highlights towards the hairline. Our new figure is that very pearlescent metallic yellow, which, you know, it's a different look. It obviously just plays up the idea of this being an exclusive, but I like that. I like when they do the translucent hair, and I like when they do the metallic hair. It just makes it different. And of course, under the right lighting circumstances, it really shines. So you've got a couple different ways to go about this figure when it comes to what is or isn't different about it. The body is still the same. It's the same base figure, but when you get them right next to each other, they do look different enough to me that I think it might be worth double dipping. And in many ways, I do think a lot of the changes on this one are an improvement over the original. I think maybe the hair on the original is still a little better than the new one, just in terms of finish, but I think the face looks a lot better, and I do like this darker suit. Now, as far as accessories goes, this Vegeta never had a lot when he was first released, so they did, of course, beef this one up with an additional piece that wouldn't normally come with any regular figure, and that, of course, is our aura effect back here. And we've seen this before. It's come out in a few different ways. I still really, really like it. It's big, it's chunky, it's got the translucent effect, it's got, of course, the 4 lightning bolts that are blasting out of it that you can use to encircle the figure. So it's not anything new, but I enjoy getting this kind of stuff, and I'm happy to see it again here. We do get some extra faces and hands going back to sort of the normal assortment that he comes with. So in the box, we've got the one we've already talked about, the sort of standard stoic expression. We've got a smirking expression. We have got a laughing maniacally, or in many ways screaming expression with the veins on the forehead. You've got a gritting of the teeth expression with the veins on the forehead as well. And then we get another one that's usually my favorite for this figure, which is him looking off to his right, but with one single vein popping out, to just show how annoyed he is. So we've got some solid faces, and of course they all are updated as well, just like this one. And when it comes to that deco, we do get some extra hands as well, and this is another area where he really doesn't have a whole lot. So you get a set of flat, like blasting hands. This is very Vegeta Blast type of hand. You get a set of grappling, slightly grasping, you know, posturing hands. And then you get a single right hand that has his iconic 2-finger or 3-finger, depending on how you want to describe it, pose, if you're like me and want to have him like that pretty much at all times. So he does come with a pretty decent array of accessories. It's nothing too crazy when it comes to just your faces and your hands. It's exactly what you'd expect to get. But of course they did go and beef him up a little bit by giving him something a little bit more dynamic and something that we don't get with every single release. So yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty solid release. Again, this is meant for a few different reasons. It's meant to get him back out into the market without you having to pay however much stupid money he's going for these days. And it also gets him back out there for folks who maybe like to double dip, because this is a changed version. Paint is a little bit different. The hair is, of course, that very pearlescent metallic look. And then you also get the big energy effect, the big aura effect with that, which at this point I have quite a few of, but I always like to get those because they do help to really sell the idea of Dragon Ball Z figures. I say it every time a figure doesn't have something like that. These should always come with energy effects, and to get the big aura effect is always kind of a nice bonus as a big pack-in thing alongside these event exclusives. So that's going to do it for this look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z event exclusive Majin Vegeta. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.